Welcome back to Comicstorian Gaming, where we do a lot of goofy fun videos involving gameplay, but we also tell you the lore and storylines to your favorite games, allowing you to know what happened in them and not having to spend 40 hours on them if you just don't have the time. As we've already done the storyline of Last of Us 1, we're going to be bringing you the DLC, Last of Us Left Behind, a story of what Ellie did when Joel was unconscious. So, let's begin. Joel slips from the horse's back, the loss of blood causing him to drop unconscious to the ground. Ellie doesn't know what to do. The men who attacked them at the University of Eastern Colorado could be right behind them. And finally, using Callus the horse, she manages to drag him back to the Colorado Mountain Plaza, and she has no choice but to leave Joel behind. She knows that Joel won't make it long without medicine, and that he's lost a lot of blood. Leaving the man behind, she moves through the area, discovering a long abandoned mall. She quickly moves through it to begin to scavenge for medicine, but she finds that the pharmacy has been picked clean, dodging infection. She discovers that a military helicopter has crashed into the middle of the mall. Searching inside, she discovers a first aid kit, and she quickly returns to Joel. Ellie remembers back to the last time that she was in a mall. You see, it was Seattle, 3 weeks before she met Joel. It was when her friend Riley broke into their school to find her. The two girls snuck out, with Riley revealing that she had joined the Fireflies as the two sneak into the abandoned mall, where they had first met. At first, Ellie was excited for Riley, knowing that joining the Fireflies is what Riley wanted for some time. But Riley won't say why she brought Ellie to the mall in the first place. It was a big question that Ellie had. Why were they even there? Ditch school and go to an abandoned mall? But that's when Riley finally revealed that she was being assigned to another group of Fireflies outside of the city. She'll never see Ellie again, and she shouldn't have come tonight because Marlene told her not to. Both girls become sad, but they try to continue to have fun with their last day together. They eventually begin to dance to old music, and Ellie just, she can't help herself. She begins to cry, begging Riley to stay behind, and the two girls, they share a passionate kiss, with Riley whispering that Marlene wouldn't approve. Suddenly, their moment is interrupted as the sound of runners fill the mall, attracted by that music. Meanwhile, in the present day though, back in Colorado, Ellie has her first aid kit and she begins to make her way back to Joel. But that's when she discovers a group of the bandits that attacked them at the university, tracking her. Not wishing to lead them back to Joel, knowing that she won't be able to take them on in a straight fight, Ellie manages to lead the bandits into a group of infected, allowing the two to fight amongst themselves. But this brings us back to her memories, to the time of her last day with Riley. You see, at this time, Ellie and Riley are both trying to escape from the swarm of runners. They fight them off, and they continue to run, using the debris of the mall to try and put some distance between them. And when the runner attacks Ellie, Riley manages to shoot it off of her, yet Riley is attacked next, and Ellie is forced to slash the runner's throat with her switchblade. Seemingly safe, the two girls start to catch their breath, but Riley notices that Ellie has a bite on her arm. Despair fills Ellie as Riley shows her that she has been bitten on the hand also. Anger fills Ellie, and she begins to break and smash everything that she can find, until finally she calms down, sitting next to her friend. Riley tries to comfort her, telling her that they have two options. She pulls out her pistol, and she tells Ellie that option 1 is quick and painless. Option 2 is that they fight. Meanwhile, in the present day back in Colorado, Ellie has gotten back to Joel and she is now treating him, preparing to move him to a safer location. She straps him to a medical litter, tying the back of it to Callus. And as she prepares to leave, the cold wind and snow begin to blow outside, with Riley's words filling her thoughts. There are a million ways that we should have died today, and a million ways that we could die before tomorrow. But we fight for every second that we get to spend together. Whether it's 2 minutes or 2 days, we don't give that up. I don't want to give that up. The words ringing in Ellie's thoughts as she steps out from the plaza. In the past, Riley turns to Ellie. My vote is we wait it out. It can be all poetic and we lose our minds together. Ellie rubs the tears from her eyes, looking at the other girl. What's option 3? Riley shakes her head, apologizing and pulling the girl close. And they finally stand, ready to leave the mall. Now, for those who don't know, this was the big reveal of how they discovered that Ellie had been bitten and she was immune to the virus, which sets up the events of Last of Us 1, and then sets up, obviously, the events of Last of Us 2. It was a good story. I thought it was a great little mini game kind of thing that they came out with. But what did you think of this little fun story in the middle of it all? If you think about how terrible it was, the whole world of Last of Us is just terrible in itself. But you got to think about what happened next when Riley and Ellie, when Riley changed and Ellie didn't, and it must have been a mess. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to let us know in the comments down below what storylines you want us to cover that are not Destiny, Final Fantasy, and Resident Evil, because we're covering all of those right now, and we're going to be going into Assassin's Creed very soon. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian Gaming.